points per game. Bart Johnson has 9, just about 10 points a game. Jesse Philippi with 6.5, and Craig Ethan with 6.5. So ROCORI from 6.5 points right up to 11.5 for their starters. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
You see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regretted on bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing on that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That voice you're hearing, none other than Mike Hemish, the gentleman who furnished us with the statistics. And Mike does a little bit of everything. Here's our starting lineup for tonight's ball game. For the ROCORI Spartans, who are the number 5 seed, and so they will be the visiting team. Jesse Philippi, a 5'7" senior, will start at point guard. The wings will be Steve Howells, a 6'1" senior, and Bart Johnson, a 6-foot senior. The double post will have Craig Ethan, a 6'4" senior, and Scott Hondel, a 6'4" sophomore, who'll jump center. Dan Crone, Dan Moore, Lyle New, and Scott Schreiner should see action for ROCORI as well. For the Elk River Elks, they're 21-1, coached by Wally Trokel. They'll start at the point guard, Skip Schaefbauer, a 6'3" senior. Their wings will be Casey McEachran, a 6'2" senior, and Joey Olson, a 6'2" senior. And their double post will feature Derek Butler, a 6'2" senior, and Matt Berggren, a 6'3" senior. And we'll have the opening tip-off in 1 minute. The Spartans will be coming out in their white uniform with the dark numeral, the black numeral, black trim, and some red trim as well. And for the Elks, they'll be in their red uniform with the white numeral and black trim. Elks will also see Ryan Barth, a 6-foot sophomore, Pat O'Keefe, a 5'10" senior, Jay Doherty, a 6'2" junior, and Brandon Carlson, a 6'7" junior, coming off the bench for Elk River. Jumping center against Scott Hondel for the Spartans will be Matt Berggren, so they are listed as the 2 centers in the ball game. 6'3" Berggren, 6'4" Hondel, a good leaper, and let's see how they control. The tap is controlled in the middle off the hand of someone, back to Berggren and then back to Schaefbauer. Schaefbauer picked up at the point as ROCORI comes out in a man-to-man defense with Ethan on Schaefbauer. No, it's a 2-3 zone. Let's double check that. Here's a steal in the middle by Howells as he clears the timeline on the right side, pulls up and leaves it outside. So the first turnover of the ball game goes to Elk River. Philippi tries to hit Howells coming out from the baseline, and the big point guard clears the timeline, gets it down into the right-hand corner to Joey Olson, back out to Schaefbauer, looking as coming across the lane, and now inside to Berggren. His shot's no good. That ball pulled out by Butler, who the gentleman I was talking about coming across the lane. And then Casey McEachran gets it back outside to Schaefbauer. Top of the circle, it goes to Olson. Back to Schaefbauer for three. It's in and out, no good. Rebound, Bart Johnson pulls it out. Gets it to Philippi. Neither team on the scoreboard yet with 7 minutes to play. Handel will get it back outside to Philippi, the little guard. Holds it high over his head, being covered out there in the man-to-man by Casey McEachran. Back outside it comes. McEachran is on Ethan, I beg your pardon. Outside, this is Howells. He's covered by Joey Olson off on the left-hand side. As Berggren is on Bart Johnson. Leaves it off at the top of the circle for Ethan. And here's Philippi for the jumper. It is in and out, no good. Hit the iron, and now Johnson gets the rebound, and apparently they're going to get him for over the back on that rebound. And it'll be personal foul number 1 on Bart Johnson. Team foul 1 against the Spartans. 6:36 on the clock, first quarter. No score in the ball game. No score in the game as yet. 1 foul, that first one just now for Bart Johnson. Top of the circle. This is Skip Schaefbauer down into the right-hand corner to Olson. Holds it high over his head. Now gets it back to Schaefbauer on the far side. Top of the circle. Three-pointer on its way, and good by Casey McEachran. McEachran hits the first 3 of the ball game, and Elk River takes the early lead at 3-0. Philippi across the timeline. Just over 6 minutes to play first quarter on 98 Country, WWJO St. Cloud, and now a whistle and a foul called. It'll be on Elk River, and it'll be charged to Casey McEachran, his first personal foul. Team 1 against Elk River, and out of bounds on the side to ROCORI. Ethan will trigger it into Philippi, will bring it to the top of the circle. The man-to-man defense for Brainerd in the last game of the season was tough, and if it's a good man-to-man defense, the Spartans do have trouble with it. Driving into the traffic is Philippi, and he's fouled as he went to the basket, and Skip Schaefbauer is going to pick up his first personal foul of the ball game. Schaefbauer's first foul, team 2 against Elk River, and out of bounds under the basket to ROCORI on the common foul. Second team foul against Elk River. Bart Johnson will throw it in. He'll get it into the corner to Howells, open for the shot. It's good. It's a 3. A 3 ties the ball game at 3 as the Spartans get the three-pointer. Here's down in the corner McEachran, back out to Schaefbauer for 3 now. Here's McEachran. His shot's no good, and Handel high in the air for the rebound is fouled from behind by Berggren, so they're calling it real close here tonight, and that's already the 3rd team foul against the Elks. On the rebound, Handel went high in the air for that ball, and as he did, he was fouled from behind by Berggren, and that's 1 apiece now on McEachran, Schaefbauer, and Berggren, 3 of the starting 5 for the Elks. Here comes Philippi into the front court. On the dribble, gets it into a high post to Handel, drops it back to Philippi, goes to the basket. Ooh, missed the shot. The follow-up won't go. The rebound, Handel puts it up and in. And let's see if we get the basket. Nope, they're going to say he was on the floor before he got fouled. Before he shot, he got fouled. No basket, but the personal foul will be charged to Matt Berggren, and that's his 2nd personal foul. So the Spartans taking it inside and getting the 4th team foul on Elk River, but the 2nd on Berggren. And we've only played about 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this ball game. 5:20 to play first quarter. Outside, Philippi with the basketball. Right side to Howells, back to Philippi. Looks for the 3, doesn't take it. Now Howells will take the 3, and he hits it. Howells drains his 2nd three-pointer of the ball game, and it's a 6-3 lead for ROCORI, and now kicking the ball called against the Spartans, so it'll be out of bounds to the Elks. 6-3 ball game, 5:01 to play first quarter. Spartans the underdog in this ball game to the Elks, who are 21-1, ROCORI at 10-13. Skip Schaefbauer, bounce pass on the right side to Olson, back out to the point. It comes to Butler, now on the left side to McEachran, back to Schaefbauer with a skip pass to Skip. And he's fouled from behind by Philippi, and he will be shooting at least a pair on that. Philippi picks up his first foul. And it's a foul. It's going to be 2 free throws. He's inside the 3-point line. Don't feel like fixing brunch this Sunday? No problem. Enjoy the Waffle Bar at the Red River Inn. It features waffles, sausage, fruit, salad bar, rolls, juice, and more. Only $4.50. Served 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. every Sunday at the Red River Inn in Cold Spring. At the free throw line will be Skip Schaefbauer with a chance to cut the lead down to 1 as he goes to the stripe. And the first one is up and good. 6-4 ball game. Schaefbauer's first point of the game, and he'll have one more coming. Schaefbauer at the line one more time. He's already signed to go to East Carolina Division I, and he hits the second one as well. So it's a one-point ball game. ROCORI on top, 6-5. 4:46 on the clock as Philippi clears the timeline, works it, tries to go inside, but it's picked off by McEachran. Turnover 2 for ROCORI. The layup at the other end is good by Schaefbauer. And the Elks take the lead by 1 once again. Their second lead of the ball game. They started out with a 3. Off the leg of Philippi and out of bounds. So Philippi trying to go to the basket one too many times. Gets turnover number 3 for the Spartans. Trying to force the defense a little bit inside in that man-to-man and hoping that he can possibly split that defense, but they were packed in pretty good. Lyle New will check in now for ROCORI, and Philippi will sit down with his first foul of the ball game and get his first rest of the game. 7-6, Elk River on top, and they have the ball. Inside it goes to Carlson, who just checked into the game. Here's a screen and a jumper. McEachran, no good. Ball tapped out and controlled by Schaefbauer. He'll take it into the lane. Get back over to McEachran on the left side. Air ball on the far side. Pulled away, though, by Joey Olson. Gets it back outside to Schaefbauer. Drives to the free throw line. Puts up the jumper. It's no good. And Handel has his second rebound of the ball game. Lead pass ahead to Bart Johnson. Leaves it outside for Lyle New. Lyle playing the point guard now. They get a little more size in there. He's 6'1". You can see the inside a little better. Handel with the ball. Pass goes to Lyle New. Lyle New looking to drive, then decides to take it into the middle. Does. Lays it off for Ethan, who puts it up and in. Craig Ethan gets his first basket of the ball game, and ROCORI goes back up by 1 at 8-7. Schaefbauer across the timeline. Really not a true point guard. He'll be an off guard, I'm sure, for the East Carolina ball club, but he's a good shooter. Into the lane, he scoops the ball nicely back to Brandon Carlson, and the 6'7" junior puts it down, and Elk River goes up by 1. We've got a barn burner, 9-8. Elk River on top, 3:08 to play first quarter. Bounce pass left side on the wing, goes to Johnson, pulls up, looks, gets it back to Hulls. Hulls drives, pulls up, lays it inside for Handel, who puts it up. No good, but he got fouled. So Handel will go to the free throw line. The personal foul will be charged to Elk River, and it'll be on number 35, Joey Olson, his first, team 5 on the Elk River Elks. And at the line, shooting a pair will be Scott Handel. We'll come back in 15 seconds. Scott Handel at the line hits the first free throw. He'll have one more coming. Ethan, Handel, Johnson, Hulls, and New in there right now for ROCORI. Second free throw's off the front of the iron. No good. Tapped around, controlled by Ethan. He has trouble. He's in double traffic. Gets it outside, tries to get it outside, but Schaefbauer picks it off. And Schaefbauer missed the layup, but the follow-up shot won't go. Follow-up again won't go. And Ethan comes off with the ball. No, Hulls comes off with it. And Lyle New will bring it down. So the Elks missed 3 golden opportunities at the basket. Of course, they'd only scored 1 basket, but they missed 3 times on what appeared to be just layups. Here's Hulls with the turnaround jumper. It's in and out, no good. Johnson rebounds it, puts it up, has it blocked by Schaefbauer, picked up by Hulls, lost out of bounds. It'll belong to ROCORI under their own basket. We're all tied at 9 apiece here at Hallenbeck Hall on campus of St. Cloud State University. Getting more and more of that purple and blue from Little Falls and Brainerd, respectively, and a good crowd on hand. We're going to have a big crowd by the time that second game gets underway. If you're listening on your way in, there's still plenty of good seats. Here's the pass coming outside to New. Left side, he gets it to Hulls, looking inside. Oh, it's picked off by McEachran. McEachran on the drive as he lays it up. Missed the shot, but the follow-up, Schaefbauer goes up over the rim and puts it down. 6 points for Schaefbauer. And a 2-point lead for the Elks at Elk River. Slowly across the timeline, Lyle New. This is a good leaping ball club for Elk River. And here Schaefbauer knocks it away again, but this time Danny Moore is going to chase it down at the other end. And now there's a pickoff by the Elks. Boy, they're an opportunistic ball club. As laying it in is Joey Olson. They take advantage of opportunities, and Schaefbauer has quick hands, and he gives the Elks a 4-point lead. He just knocked that ball away from New. Here's Hondel in the lane. Little jumper won't go off the iron. Tapped out, controlled by Ethan. He puts up the jump shot. It won't go. Tap won't go. Rebound up and tapped in finally as Dan Moore missed it, but Craig Ethan tapped it in. Elk River by 2. It's hot and heavy out there with 1:15 to play in the first quarter. Dropped inside to Carlson. Back outside jumper by Olson won't go. Rebound pulled down by Ethan. Lead pass for Howells. Back it comes for New, and he can't handle it off his fingertips. So ROCORI with 5 turnovers here in the early going, and they have been costly ones, although Elk River's only picked up 1 basket on turnovers. Now coming into the game for Elk River, checking in number 20. This is a player that we weren't expecting to see. Apparently Coach Wally Sokol wants to give Kip Schaefbauer a little rest, and he probably doesn't come out that often. And number 20 checking in will be Ryan Barth. I beg your pardon, we do have Ryan Barth listed. He's a 6-foot sophomore. He comes in. Hit him in the wrong, hit him in different number. Here's a Howells on the breakaway. Howells with the layup, it's good. Howells with the steal, second turnover Elk River. 8 points for Howells and a 13-all ball game. That's our third tie, 3-9 and 13. Pass off on the left-hand side. Jay Doherty, who was checked in a little bit ago. Elk River likes to go to the bench. And out at long range and finishing off the quarter here will be Ryan Barth. Second generations of Barths now. This young man had his father playing for Howard Lake back in the early 70s, and now having Ryan playing here, so it's the second generation that I recall here in my 20 years anyway. Here's the jump shot from outside. It won't go, and the buzzer sounds as the buzzer. At the buzzer, the score all tied at 13. Elk River and ROCORI back in a minute. I'll take a 15 for Michaels on Main when I get a chance. I'll get those 15s in on free throws. We're a little bit behind. They haven't called any timeouts. What'd you say? Yeah, right. I've got my headset on, so sometimes I don't hear it, but I can hear you. I got the thing on, so good. Ready to go with quarter number 2 as the Spartans and the Elk River Elks all tied at 13 apiece. So it's been a good one so far. Apollo and Elk River, Apollo was defeated by Elk River 82-58. There's some question as to whether that was a close game, but it was apparently close the first half. But after that, it was pretty much all Elk River in the third quarter. Spartans, I'm sure, hoping that they can stay with them like they have here so far. They've made a couple of mistakes. And now here's Philippi into the lane. Wants to go to the basket, put the shot up. A foul was called as he went to the basket. So the Spartans are forcing some fouls by Elk River. As they're forcing the action, Jay Doherty picks up the foul. 2, 4, 5, 6. The Spartans, good free throw shooting team, and on the next one, they will go to the bonus. That's been one of their concerns. They just haven't been able to get the free throws, even though they have a couple of 80% free throw shooters on the team, in fact. But not going to the line has been their biggest problem. In fact, Hull shoots 87%, 82 for Hondel, and 81 for Bart Johnson. So those guys going to the free throw line is a real plus for the Spartans. Here's Moore with the basketball outside to Philippi for 3. Yes! Philippi hits the tray. Third one of the ball game for ROCORI, and the Spartans go up by 3 at 16-13. Left side to Doherty. Berggren, I believe, is still on the bench. He picked up a couple of early fouls in the first couple of minutes, in fact. Schaefbauer back outside on a return pass from Doherty. Gets it off to the right wing. Schaefbauer still looking down into the right-hand corner to Olson. Back to Schaefbauer. Looks at the shot at about 23 feet. Doesn't take it. Now gets it on a return pass. Drives it into the lane. Goes to the basket and puts it in. Schaefbauer is showing he can do the penetration bit, too, and cuts the lead to 1. And now traveling called on Philippi in the backcourt. Actually, one of those definitely unforced errors, and Coach Bob Brink not happy with that. 16-15, ROCORI by 1. Elk River with the ball on ROCORI's 6th turnover of the ball game. They've not been hurt all that much. I think the Elks have 1 basket on the turnovers, but certainly they could get another one right here. Outside with the ball now, this is Derek Butler. Gets it off on the left-hand side to McEachran, into a high post to Schaefbauer for 3. It's good. Schaefbauer is a one-man wrecking crew out there. He hits the tray, his first 3 of the ball game, 11 points for Schaefbauer, and it's now a 18-16 Elk River lead in the ball game. Down into the corner, Handel with the jumper. It's in and out, no good. Rebound pulled down by McEachran at the baseline. He gets it off to Schaefbauer with 6:11 to play. Inside, covered, return pass goes to Carlson, and Carlson puts it down. 4 points for Carlson, and Elk River opens up their second 4-point lead of the ball game. ROCORI's biggest lead has been 3 at 6-3 and a couple of 3-point baskets. Outside, this is Philippi. Philippi in the lane. Puts up the shot, won't go, and Craig Ethan got the basketball on the rebound. He's doing a great job on the boards, he and Handel and Moore, and the foul is called. Personal foul will be charged to Derek Butler, his first, team 7, so this is a 2-shot, but there'll be a bonus from here on out for ROCORI. Philippi will sit down and New checks in. Dan Moore sits down and Bart Johnson is back in. At the free throw line is Craig Ethan. We'll be back in 15 seconds. First free throw missed by Craig Ethan. He has 1 more coming at the charity line. 20-16, Elk River by 4. ROCORI 1 out of 3 from the stripe, but now 2 out of 4. And as I mentioned, they are normally a pretty good free throw shooting team. Here's Ethan knocking the ball out of bounds. Coach Bob Brink tried to talk the official into thinking that it was McEachran that touched the ball last, but not too much doubt about that one, as Schaefbauer fired it down the sideline. Schaefbauer working out at long range to the right side. Bounce pass, gets it off to Doherty. And now McEachran at the top of the circle to Schaefbauer. Schaefbauer on the drive, back out to McEachran for 3. Won't go. Rebound off Carlson's fingers, but he chases it down, gets it back out to McEachran. Now Schaefbauer for 3. What an outstanding shooter this young man is. And he hits his second 3 in a row. And that's 14 points already for Schaefbauer. 23-17, 6-point lead. Getting set to come back into the ball game is Joey Olson for the Elks. They use a lot of players. Outside, this is Lyle New with the ball, and now out of bounds. And it'll be ROCORI's ball as Hulls had it knocked away by McEachran. It'll still belong with the Spartans on the sideline, and Craig Ethan will trigger it in. Ethan, Hulls, New, Johnson, and Handel in for ROCORI. Carlson, Schaefbauer, and now back in again comes Derek Butler, along with McEachran and Joey Olson. Olson, I guess, just came in too. Here's the drive. Ooh, a block by Schaefbauer. It's chased down by Handel, and Handel stepped across the line, and the Spartans are saying that was not a violation, but apparently it was, as Handel was unable to stop. If he'd let the ball cross the timeline and then get it, he'd been okay. Schaefbauer's a great jumper. He's 6'3", but he really gets up there. He's had a couple of block shots already in this ball game. Out into the corner, it goes to Joey Olson. Brings it back out to McEachran. Schaefbauer is constantly on the move. He moves so well without the ball, and now the jump shot. It won't go, but the rebound comes out to Olson. Here's Schaefbauer's pass inside, and boy, he's the oil that makes this wheel run for the grease that makes him run. The basket will count, and going to the free throw line will be Derek Butler. The personal foul will be charged to Scott Handel, his first, and the Spartans want a timeout. 4:22 to play in the first half. The score, Elk River 25, ROCORI 17. Back in a minute. Say, Dory, go ahead and take another Michaels on main too, because we're going in for a free throw. Good. At the free throw line with a chance to complete a three-point play now is Derek Butler. His first basket of the ball game, 25-17, Elk River by 8 and now by 9. So they open up the big lead with the three-point play by Butler. 3 out of 3 from the charity line. Leading scorer so far, 14 points for Schaefbauer, and he's done everything else for the Elks as well. I don't know how the guy does not get tired, because he is just constantly moving. Here's Craig Ethan. Bounce pass right side to Hulls. Hulls, Spartans passing is not real sharp. And now the turnaround by Hulls, and it's batted out of bounds. And I believe for Schaefbauer again, his third blocked shot of the ball game. He is all over. It'll be in the corner. You can see why he's Division I. There's no doubt about it. He is an outstanding player. He does everything well. Outside with the basketball, this is Handel. Looking, gets it down into the corner to Howells, covered by Schaefbauer, and he will not try a shot, I guarantee you. Here's Ethan inside, has it blocked, but a foul will be coming up on Brandon Carlson. It'll be his first, and we'll have a pair of free throws coming for the Spartans. Craig Ethan, he'll go to the line. We'll come back in 15 seconds. Craig Ethan at the charity line. His first free throw is up and good. Craig Ethan, 2 out of 3 from the stripe, has 6 points for the Spartans so far. Hulls leads the scoring with 8, including a pair of three-point baskets. At the free throw line, Ethan one more time. It's up. This one caroms out, no good. Ball batted out and controlled by a new 3 for Hulls on its way, no good. And on the rebound, Johnson tied up with Joey Olson. And we're going to get a foul called on Johnson, apparently. Bart Johnson picks up his second personal foul of the ball game, and Dan Crone will check in now for ROCORI. Jesse Philippi will also come in. So they'll throw in a couple of ball handlers. Johnson will sit down. New will sit down. And now Hulls also coming into the ball game is Dan Moore once again. So Moore, Ethan, Handel, Philippi, and Crone in there right now for the Spartans. Some fresh legs in there with Dan Crone. Here's a skip pass across the top of the circle, down into the corner to Schaefbauer. Schaefbauer works it, looks covered closely by Crone as he gets chest to chest with him outside. Now Schaefbauer again, loop pass into the middle to Carlson. From the corner, the jumper's good. A three-pointer once again for McEachran, and that's his second of the ball game. We'll be talking with Wally Trockel, by the way, at halftime. It'll be our halftime guest, as we talked earlier before the ball game, as the teams arrive. And Dan Moore with the basketball for ROCORI, lost it, and now it's picked up. Lead pass for Schaefbauer on the breakaway. He lays it in. Schaefbauer with 16 in the ball game. His fourth two-pointer, and he has 2 3-pointers. 31-18. ROCORI dropping well behind here by 13 points as the Elks have outscored the Spartans by a large margin here in this second quarter. 2:40 to play till halftime. It's a kind of a ball club that is just with Schaefbauer. They just are just an outstanding team. Here's Handel pulling down the rebound on the miss by McEachran. And here comes Crone across the timeline for the Spartans. Down court to Moore, outside for Crone. Three-pointer on the iron won't go. Rebound Carlson, the 6'7" lad. Lead pass for McEachran. McEachran lays it up. It won't go. Rebound laid up again and good. This time it's in by Joey Olson, and that's 4 points for Olson. And Dan Crone will bring it down for the Spartans. Across the timeline, 33-18. The Elks have opened up a 15-point lead, and it's one of those bad quarters for the Spartans once again, as they have had those during the season when nothing goes right in one quarter. Here's a driving layup by Philippi as he splits the defense and goes in and lays it home. 5 points for Philippi in the ball game, and it's 33-20, and that broke a long drought for the Spartans. Outside, Schaefbauer drives into the lane and then kicks it back outside, and as he did, he was fouled, and that'll be the 15th foul against the Spartans. So we will not have a bonus as yet. It'll be out of bounds. Now the Elks apparently, well, no, I thought they were going to call a timeout, but not. 15 foul against. That'll be personal foul number 1 against Craig Ethan. And now Schreiner will check in for ROCORI. And also Elk River will bring in, Berggren will sit down, and back into the ball game comes Derek Butler along with McEachran. Schaefbauer, I believe, has taken a rest, and that would probably mean that Barth comes out from the corner as a 2 for McEachran, and he has 8 points in the ball game. 35-20. Elk River back up by 15. Out at the top of the circle, Jesse Philippi. 98 Country is WWJO St. Cloud. Philippi with a drive into the lane once again. And Philippi has 7 in the ball game, including the last 4. Across the timeline, and then back outside it comes for Derek Butler. Across to McEachran. This is an interchangeable type ball club where just about anybody can handle the ball and everybody shoots and everybody can hit the 3-pointer, and perhaps not Carlson, who puts up the jumper, it won't go, and Schreiner has the weak side rebound, and here comes Philippi for the Spartans into the front court. Philippi goes into traffic once again, and we're going to get a personal foul out at the free throw line. So Philippi, trying to make something happen, is driving the ball to the basket, and he is, as he does, he is getting fouled. The personal this time will be charged to McEachran, his 2nd of the ball game. Philippi will go to the line. We'll come back in 15 seconds. If we don't get all the ads in it by halftime, don't worry about it, because we'll pick them up afterward. We got to, once I announce, okay. Off on the right-hand side with the basketball after Philippi missed the front end of the 1-and-1. It's still 35-22, a 13-point lead for the Elks. 15 has been their biggest lead of the ball game just a little bit ago. 32 seconds on the clock, so it would appear they're going to play for one shot as the Elks have Doherty outside just dribbling the basketball, looking over at his coach and saying, and he's just dribbling timeout to end this first half. 35-22. Now they start the offense at 13 seconds. Right side with the basketball, Doherty down into the corner, back out to Doherty, over to McEachran. McEachran for 3. It's on the iron, but it won't go. Rebound, Hondel gets it. Ahead for Schreiner, but the buzzer sounds ending the first half. And a big second quarter for the Elk River Elks. They lead it 35-22 after a 13-all tie at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah. The Blue Heron and the Cold Spring Creamery, and we'll be in good shape. We'll save those other 2 for right after the half, and we'll be in good shape. Stutz have the Stewart cabinet sent from the first half. We're just getting underway with the second half as the Elks have the ball. Schaefbauer from the top of the circle missed the jump shot and the 3-pointer, and so here come the Spartans trailing 35-22, and they need some points right away. This early going in the third quarter will be crucial for the Spartans. Down into the corner to Howells. Bart Johnson held scoreless in that first half. Here's Howells with getting a steal from Schaefbauer, and then he puts his hands on him and is going to give him a chance to complete a 3-point play. So not a good move on the part of Steve Howells, who normally plays pretty smart, but on that particular one, he got outgunned to the basket, and about all you can do is just let him go in that situation. We have the official statistics in the first half, and as far as rebounds are concerned, 15 for the Elks and 19 for ROCORI. Free throw by Schaefbauer is up and good, so it's a 38-22 lead now. Elk River on top by 16, their biggest lead of the night. Howells out on the left wing, covered in the man-to-man by Schaefbauer, and Schaefbauer with the block picks up his second personal foul of the ball game. So it'll belong to the Spartans under their own basket. One team foul on each ball club here in the early going of the second half. It was 13 all at the quarter, but the second quarter belonged to Elk River. They outscored the Spartans something like 22-9 and took the big lead into the second half. Over on the right side, here's Johnson for three. It's on its way, in and out, no good. They do need points from Johnson and Handel if the Spartans are going to get back into this one. Here's Schaefbauer down low, now into the lane. Loose ball picked up once again by Joey Olson, who got that pass from Schaefbauer. Here's McEachran's shot. It won't go, but on the rebound, we're going to get a whistle and a foul called. Apparently a little pushing underneath. And the foul, Bart Johnson picking up his third personal foul of the game. And Schaefbauer will trigger the inbounds pass for the Elks under their own basket. Drops it outside to McEachran. Back to the top of the circle now. It goes to Butler. I think the starting five is in there for Elk River. Schaefbauer banks it off the glass and in, and he has 21 in the ball game. I don't know what he averages. I'm sure it's well over 20. But he's already got 21 in this one, and we've only played about one half plus a minute and a half. Here's the shot down the lane as Philippi missed the shot, and here come the Elks. Into the lane, back out to Schaefbauer. Schaefbauer stops, gets it off to McEachran. He's a great passer as well. Now gets it into the middle. Back out to Schaefbauer. Pulls up in the lane. Ooh, dropped it down low. Blocked though. Follow-up shot is good. Matt Berggren puts it down, his first 2 points of the ball game. And timeout ROCORI, 42-22. Elk River by 20 back in a minute. Yeah, I guess we still got Styles Plus too. That Michaels on Main's in good shape though, because we needed 3 in each half. So get Styles Plus here, we'll be in good shape. Hands on this Elk River ball club. Ethan for three. It's on its way off to the right, no good. Schaefbauer rebounds it. Long lead pass down court, and McEachran can't get as it sails out of the other end. That's only the third turnover of the ball game for the Elks. ROCORI had 6 in the first half. The Elks had 2, and their first of the second half. Philippi will bring it up for the Spartans. Slowly across the timeline on the left side, picked up by McEachran. Works it to the top of the circle. Hits it off to Hulls on the right side, who's covered by Joey Olson. Here's a jumper, good by Ethan. Ethan has 8 points in the ball game in the down court. Ball knocked away, picked up by Johnson. Johnson will clear it into the front court as a 3-on-2. Comes back to Ethan, blocked though, and chased down on the sideline, but traveling will be called on the near side. As coming up with the basketball was Derek Butler, but he took an extra step. Not too much doubt about that one. And it'll be out of bounds on the side to ROCORI. Turnover 2 in the second half, 4 in the ball game for the Elks, who have taken care of the ball very nicely. Here's Philippi bringing it into the front court for the Spartans. Works to the left side, leaves it for Johnson, who's covered over there real quickly by Joey Olson. Now Ethan tries to drop it inside. Schaefbauer knocks it away. Hulls into the lane. Hulls with the running jumper. Won't go, but the tap is good by Handel. Handel's first field goal is second and third points of the game, and it's 42-26. Elk River with that 16-point lead. Jump shot from outside is good. A three-pointer by McEachran, who has his third three-pointer of the game and 11 points in the ball game. Here's Philippi off on the left-hand side to Johnson. Lays it inside for Ethan. Little hook, jump hook is no good. Ethan's rebound blocked and knocked around and finally picked up by Berggren, clearing it across the timeline. Schaefbauer behind the back pass to McEachran, and he lays it in. Well, this guy can do it all. 13 points for McEachran in the basketball game. A behind the back pass by Schaefbauer, He can handle a basketball like magic. Philippi at the top of the circle, driving it into the lane, pulls up, tries to go up for a shot, and as he does, Berggren fouled him, and Berggren will pick up his third personal foul of the ball game. Philippi will go to the line for a pair. We'll come back in 15 seconds.
Number 50 men, Berggren gets his third, second team foul. Number 44, Lyle New, and number 50, Scott Schreiner, in the third-quarter lineup. 54.
At the free throw line will be Jesse Philippi to shoot a pair. Jesse at the line, and sitting down will be Berggren now for the Elks, and also coming back into the ball game is Jay Doherty, as Carlson came in for Berggren. Brandon Carlson, a 6'7" junior, and now McEachran will get a break too, the 6'2" senior, so Doherty will come in for McEachran. And the Spartans have Schreiner into the ball game once again, replacing Bart Johnson. Hall's still in there along with Handel Philippi, and Lyle New is also checked into the game. He's in for Craig Ethan, it would appear. At the free throw line for the Spartans, Philippi made the first one. He'll have one more coming and makes them both. So Philippi has 2 out of 3 from the line and 9 points in the ball game. That equals his high against Apollo when he had 9. Not a high for the season. I believe he's had 20 on at least one occasion. In fact, I think, well, I'm not positive. There was a game that the Spartans lost, but he had a 20-point game and led the scoring. Jumper by Schaefbauer is good, and he's fouled from behind. 23 points for Schaefbauer. Schaefbauer will go to the line to complete a 3-point play, and the foul, or try to anyway, and Philippi will pick up his second personal foul. We'll come back in 15 seconds. That should be the 5th one for Michaels. I've got him checked off. 3:22 on the clock. The free throw with Schaefbauer is up and good. He's 4 out of 4 from the line with 24 points in the ball game. 50-28. The Elks by 22. Philippi into the front court. Philippi to the basket. Philippi puts it off to Howells. The tap no good by Handel on the missed shot. And here's a long lead pass for Schaefbauer. And now Schaefbauer will dunk one, a two-hand stuff, and so he's done a little bit of everything. And that's 26 points in the ball game for Schaefbauer. 52-28. Well, you can see that one coming. He was well out ahead of the crowd, and he put it home. And now Schaefbauer tries to make the steal, and it would appear Schaefbauer is trying to do a little more than he's capable of doing. And I think Wally Trockel would just as soon see him settle down just a little bit. He is really fired up. I think Wally is saying, I want to get you out and settle you down a little bit. So Ryan Barth is going to check in, because I think Schaefbauer is getting probably a little more hot dog than Wally, who is pretty much of a calm, humble individual. 10 points in the game for Steve Howells now as he lays it in from the little jump shot in the lane. Bounce pass into the corner to Doherty. Doherty will bring it out to Schaefbauer. A three-pointer from NBA land is good. 25 points for Schaefbauer from the field, 29 in the ball game. And Schaefbauer is putting on a show here, and on this college court, he's practicing for East Carolina next year, apparently. 25-point lead for the Elks. On the drive, Philippi goes right to the basket and puts it in. He has 11 in the ball game to lead the scoring for the Spartans. And now a whistle, and we're going to get a foul called at the other end. And let's see who picked up the personal foul. The foul will be charged to number 44. That would be Lyle New's first personal foul of the ball game. Barth will check in. Schaefbauer will sit down. Schreiner will sit down. New will come out of the ball game. And Ethan is back in. Schreiner sits down. At the line to shoot a pair will be Derek Butler. We'll come back in 15 seconds. That's all 6 now for them. We need another Richmond concrete. So we're done with Michaels. In fact, we got a couple more, so that should be it for Michaels on Main. At the free throw line, it's up and good on the second one. The first one was missed by Derek Butler, so he is 2 out of 3 now from the stripe and has 4 points in the ball game. Here's Philippi in the lane, tries to lay it off on the right side, and as he does, there's a whistle and a foul called, and it's going to be charged to Ryan Barth. It'll be his first personal foul of the ball game, and the 4th team foul against the Elks, and out of bounds under the basket to the Spartans. Back into the ball game comes McEachran, and sitting down was Joey Olson. Here's a little jump shot in the lane by Ethan, won't go, comes up short. Barth lead pass after the rebound by Carlson. Barth will work it outside. He'll be the point guard next year when Schaefbauer leads. And the jump shot is up and good. Doherty's first field goal of the ball game, 58-32, a minute 37 to play. Across the timeline, Crone with the basketball. Down into the lane goes Philippi, throws up the shot, it won't go. Big pile up under the basket. Carlson and Philippi, the biggest and smallest guy. And it goes back to McEachran, and he puts it down. McEachran with the return pass has 15 points in the ball game. He's second to Schaefbauer in scoring, and the Elks have opened it up to 60-32, obviously blowing this one wide open. Philippi with the ball. Philippi drives it, puts it up, no good. Rebound pulled out of there by Barth. Barth on the drive lays it back to McEachran, and McEachran lays it in. That's 17 now for McEachran, who's putting on a show as Schaefbauer is out of there, and the Elks just keep on rolling. Bart Johnson will come back in for ROCORI. 50 seconds to play third quarter. Philippi with the basketball, holds it. Now starts to bring it outside again to the top of the circle, right side to Crone, and as he tries to go back door for Ethan, he threw it away. That's only the first turnover of the second half for the Spartans. Make that, yeah, that's still the first turnover. There have been some breakaways, but first turnover in the ball game in the second half anyway. 6-7 in the game for ROCORI. And sitting down now will be Derek Butler, one of the starters. So Barth, along with Carlson, Pat O'Keefe is in for the first time, Doherty, and the starting 5 is out of there. And also into the ball game for the Elks, as they have 5 brand new players in there. Number 52 would be Adam Blakesvet. Adam Blakesvet into the ball game as well. Jump shot by Handel is good. Handel from the left side hits his second field goal of the ball game. He had a tap in earlier. Blakesvet is a 6'2" junior. And now a whistle at the other end, and we'll see what the call will be. It'll be on the Spartans. It'll be on Bart Johnson and his 4th personal foul of the ball game. 15 foul against ROCORI. Still neither team in the bonus. Only 4 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. And on the inbounds, down into the corner, jump shot by Ryan Barth is no good. At the end of the quarter, the score, Elk River 62, ROCORI 34. We'll be back in a minute. Of the 15s, I still have Red River in. I think I have 3 of those, so I'll get those on the free throws. And then Michaels on Main should be done, and you should have 1 more Richmond Concrete. Does that add up? 28-point lead heading into the 4th period. ROCORI with the ball. Crone, left side, goes to Philippi. 98 countries, WWJO, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Handel with the jumper, won't go. Philippi had it knocked away, and then Johnson tried to save it in the corner and could not. And it'll be out of bounds to the Elks. The Elks now with that second 5 in there. ROCORI still trying to make this one respectable at any rate. It would appear their season is over, but Elk River with the starting 5 out of the ball game. As Schaefbauer sat down, he had 29 points in the game and played less than 3 quarters. And now Carlson is fouled. Brandon Carlson's fouled, and the personal will be on Handel, who thought he got all ball, but apparently did not. Never the same old chicken at the Red River Inn. They have dinners featuring lemon broccoli chicken, chicken Dijon, chicken Italiano, chicken Monterey, and chicken Hawaiian. All include rice, roll, and vegetable, just $4.99 or $5.99 with salad bar at the Red River Inn in Cold Spring. At the free throw line, shooting a pair will be Brandon Carlson. And he's at the stripe right now, shooting 2. Carlson's first one of the night is good. The Elks have only been to the charity line a total of 8 times, but they've converted 7. ROCORI's been to the line 8 times as well, and they've converted 5. Free throw 2 is also good by Carlson. Well, he's the future here, at least next year, because they'll lose some pretty good seniors with McEachern, Olson, Schaefbauer, Butler, and Berggren. All starting 5 will be gone after this year, but boy, they could go a long ways with this team the way they have been playing, at least in this ball game anyway. And ROCORI's a pretty respectable club. Here's a jump shot by Johnson from the outside. It goes out of bounds. Dan Moore tried to protect the ball from going out, or else Barth was trying to keep him away from it, one or the other, but they were battling, and it apparently touched ROCORI last. Ryan Barth now gets it up to the middle, and clearing it across the timeline will be O'Keefe down into the corner to Doherty. Doherty on the drive knocks Johnson down, no whistle. Outside, Barth with the basketball, drops it down low for Berggren, who's back in there. His shot won't go, and we're going to get a held ball. Johnson would have picked up his 5th foul on that one. But there was no, they call it a held ball, and the arrow points for Elk River, so they'll have it. Bart Johnson will sit down, Dan Crone will sit down, and back into the ball game for the Spartans. The starting 5 would appear to be in there. And Doherty hits the 3-pointer from the left corner. It's his first tray of the night. And so he now has 5 points in the ball game. And we have a whistle down at the other end, and let's see what the call will be. The pushing foul will be charged to Ryan Barth, his 2nd personal foul. 5th team foul, so neither team in the bonus has yet. 6:37 on the clock for the ball game. In the corner, Howells for 3. It's on the iron but won't go. Rebound pulled out of there by Berggren. Gets it ahead to Barth. Down court, lead pass for Doherty. Doherty out at long range. He also is one of those fine juniors on this team. From 3-point land, the shot no good by Pat O'Keefe, who is a 5'10 senior. And now Howells will get the pass from Philippi, and Philippi will bring it across the timeline for the Spartans. Clears it to the right side, still on a dribble, gets it off on the left side to Hondo. Down into the corner to Howells. Howells backdoors it for Hondo as they try to go for the dunk, but it doesn't go. And now Ryan Barth will be called for traveling. He took an extra step before he got the dribble down. Only the 3rd turnover for the Elks in the second half. ROCORI with only 1 in the second half, but Elk River put on a big show in that 3rd quarter when they outscored the Spartans 22-9 and just blew it wide open. Across the timeline, 67-34. Elk River will advance to play the winner of the Little Falls Brainerd game. Philippi drives into the middle, no whistle, and Elk River comes out with the ball. Back outside, this is O'Keefe with the ball. Now Tim Nuring will get set to come in for ROCORI. He's a senior on the ball club. Saw quite a bit of action earlier in the season, but has not in recent games. Nuring will come in for what I would guess is the balance of this game, and probably the rest of the players will get a chance to get out on the floor a bit too. From the corner, the shot no good by Barth, and now on the rebound, the whistle and a foul called on O'Keefe. And that will be team foul number 6 against Elk River. So from here on out, we will have the bonus as Dan Moore will come back in. Nuring will come in. And that was the first on O'Keefe, and they were talking to Wally Trokel as though it was his 5 fouls on O'Keefe. It was only his first one. And then the official got a big smile on his face and ran off a little bit embarrassed, and the other official is getting a big kick out of it. He's got a big smile on his face. Here comes Philippi into the front court. I'm not sure anyone else noticed it other than myself and Wally Trokel and the other official. Here's Howells with the basketball. Spins into the lane, gets at the free throw line. Nuring is in there. Here's Philippi covered quickly by O'Keefe. And then as O'Keefe left him momentarily, as Philippi faked it, and he put up the 3 and hit it. Second 3 of the night for Philippi, who has 12 points from the field and 14 in the ballgame to lead the ROCORI scoring. Here's Hondo, lead pass for Ethan. As Ethan was going to slam it down, he was called for traveling. So a couple of players who were going to get a little extra run at the basket, both of them traveled with the ball before they got rolling, both Barth and Ethan on the last 2. 67-37, Elk River by 30. They've had this one wrapped up for quite some time, well back in the in that 7-0 run to start the third quarter, pretty well finished it off, even though it was only 13, or it was only a 35-22 lead at that time, but that kind of broke it open. Here's the pass down court for Nuring. Brings it back to Philippi inside. Nice pass inside to Ethan, and Ethan puts it down. 10 points for Craig Ethan in the ball game. We'll be naming our Marnatelli's Pizza Player of the Game in the post-game show, and we hopefully will have one of the coaches up here to talk with us. Here's the pass down on the left side, goes to Barth. 4 minutes to play in the ball game here on 98 Country, WWJO St. Cloud. From three-point land, O'Keefe hits it. His first basket of the ball game, and with just under 4 minutes to play in the game, 70-39. Elk River, I believe, has their biggest lead of the night at 31 points, and they've done that with the second 5 for the most part, and now a blocking foul will be called as Philippi goes in. Doherty will pick up the personal, his second of the game. Philippi will go to the line, and we'll remind you, Mamma Mia for perfect pasta. It's the Red River Inn. Try any of their delicious pasta dinners, chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo, along with pasta primavera or lasagna. All include garlic bread and fettuccine, just $4.99 or $5.99 with salad bar at the Red River Inn in Cold Spring. Philippi will go to the line. We'll be back in 15 seconds. Philippi makes the first one. A little echo chamber there, but Philippi makes the first, and we'll have one more coming. He's 3 out of 4 from the stripe, and the second one is also good. So Philippi now with 16 in the ball game. He's played a pretty solid game for the Spartans, and certainly a leading candidate for our Marnatelli's Pizza Player of the Game in this one. Ethan would be another player who's played a solid game, and of course Steve Howells always plays solid basketball for the Spartans. Now across the timeline, pass goes off on the right side to Doherty, back out to the point. We got a player in there with a little goal key, and here's a little left-hand jump shot that's up and good by Blakestead. Here's a steal by Blakestead off on the left side, a 3 on its way for Barth. It won't go, and Ethan rebounds it for the Spartans. 9 turnovers in the ballgame for ROCORI. Philippi backdoor for Ethan, has it knocked away by Blakestead, and it'll still belong to the Spartans. The Elks are bringing in all kinds of new players now, and it makes it real interesting. Coming into the ballgame for Elk River as Brian Studer checks in. Barth sits down. Also getting set to come in for the Elks is Brent Johannesson. He'll come into the ballgame. And a moment ago, Chris Hormuth checked into the ballgame, a 6'2 senior. So Coach Wally Trokel is clearing his bench. Ted Pockert, I don't believe has been in yet, but I'm sure he'll be coming in. Pass goes out of bounds. It'll be Elk River's ball. And out of bounds on the side.
Number 4, Steve Thompson.
Steve Thompson checks in for ROCORI, along with Tim Nuring, Steve Howells, Philippi, and Chad Eichers is also in for ROCORI. So both clubs going to their bench now to let everyone have a chance. This one pretty well over with some time ago. 3 minutes to play in the ball game. On the drive, little jump shot won't go for Brian Studer, but he'll go to the free throw line. And we have and going to the free throw line, as I said, Brian Studer will come back in 15 seconds. At the free throw line, shooting for the Elks, shooting 2 will be Studer. Say, this one's something special. The New York strip steak every night, served every night at the Red River Inn. It's a taste treat, complete with soup and salad bar, plus potato and roll, all for only $6.99. Enjoy the New York strip steak from the Red River Inn in the Red River at Main Mall, Cold Spring. And the first free throw by Studer is up no good. He'll have another one coming. And this one's out of bounds, as it was also missed. So Studer missed them both, and it'll be out of bounds. Studer will trigger the inbounds pass. Last touch by the Spartans. 2:49 to play, 72-41. Back to that 31-point lead again. Outside on the right with the basketball. This is John Beaudry. And now to the top of the circle with the basketball, that would be Brent Johannesson. Back out to Johannesson, to Beaudry. Beaudry, B-A-U-D-R-Y, Beaudry. Down into the corner, Studer, back outside to Beaudry. Across the top of the circle. Johannesson, now the pass stolen by ROCORI, lead pass for Philippi. Tries to get it back to Steve Thompson, but it was stolen in there by the Elks. Flipped back outside. The three-pointer tipped off the glass and in. And that basket by number 34, Beaudry, has a three-pointer. Now Johnson outside to Chad Eichers. Eichers, and we're going to get a pushing foul inside against, I would guess, the Elks. Crone getting set to come back in for ROCORI. And Studer picks up the personal foul. Going to the line will be Philippi to shoot a pair. I'll shoot a 1-and-1. Minute 55 to play. Both teams in the bonus at this point. 75-41. Elk River on top. They've had this one wrapped up for some time. The free throw is up and good by Philippi. Well, Philippi's been a pretty bright spot here tonight. He has 12 points from the field, including a pair of three-pointers. He also has had 5 out of 6 from the charity line, so he has 17 in the game. When the Spartans haven't rolled this season, Philippi has had some of his bigger nights. He had his best game, 20 points, when the Spartans were not having a good night. His free throw is also good. I'm trying to remember which ball game that was. It might have been one of the Brainerd games, but I'm not positive. Now Philippi will sit down, and Dan Crone will check back in. So Philippi gets a nice round of applause from the appreciative ROCORI fans, but it hasn't been a big night for Spartan fans tonight, as this Elk River team is outstanding, and whoever comes out of the Little Falls game, Little Falls or Brainerd, it's going to be a tough one for them. Pass down into the corner, Studer with a jumper. It's good. Studer hits the 2. His first 2 points of the ball game. He missed his 2 free throws. Crone outside with a minute and a half to play. Driving it to the free throw line. Crone left side for Steve Thompson. Here's Johnson with a turnaround. He hits it. Bart Johnson's first field goal of the night comes with a minute 25 to play in the ball game. So now Gary Distel and Jim Thielen discussing who hasn't seen action in the ball game, as I believe they're going to let the guys on the end of the bench, Doug Sherman, along with Pat Rothstein, and one other player down there too, for the Spartans on the end of the bench. Probably get to see some action. Ball's knocked out of bounds, still belongs to the Elks. Inside, unable to get it up there on the block shot. Now the loose ball is picked up by Crone. That player that I mentioned, Pockert, is also in the game. So everyone on the bench now has seen action. And now the Spartans will clear off the bench too, as Mike Chalke will check in too. He was the one I didn't mention. There's a jumper by Nuring that's up and good. Tim Nuring gets a bucket here in his final game of his high school career. Puts it down for the Spartans. The 6'3" senior saw quite a bit of action early in the season. In fact, he was starting a couple of games early on. Ball's knocked away. Nuring picks it up. Gets it back over to Crone. Crone will lay it up. He faked and then went to the basket. He had Thompson with him. And on the rebound, it's pulled out of there by Pockert. Out on the wing to Blakesfett and back ahead to Pockert. Pockert will drive it to the basket, pulls up the jumper. It's off the glass, no good, but a tap in by Blakesfett, his second field goal of the ball game. 79-47. Elk River, 9 seconds on the clock. We'll have our Marnatelli's Pizza Player of the Game in the post-game show. Here's Eichers, gets the bucket at the buzzer. Eichers gets the basket, so Eichers gets a chance to score in his final game of his high school career as well, and the Elks win it by a score of 79-49. We will be back in 2 minutes. I'll check the scoring, and then we'll need 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll need another 2-minute break. I'll check the scoring, then I'll give you the 2-minute break, and then I'll go to the Marnatellis, okay? Okay.
And on Wednesday from 11 o'clock a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. That's Tuesday, March 16th from
2-minute break for Cold Spring Bakery, or for Cold Spring Granite, Foxtrot, and you better take Cold Spring Granite this time because I see they're twice in the next one. Take them this time. Okay. What's that? Yeah, I'll give you one more 2-minute break. I think that's what you need. Yep. Okay. Well, the final score as Elk River moves on at a 22-1, winning at 79-49 over ROCORI. Let's look at the scoring for the Spartans. Jesse Philippi had a pair of threes and had 12 points from the field. He also went 6 out of 7 from the charity line, finished with 18. 10 points for Steve Howells, also a pair of three-pointers. Bart Johnson had a field goal for 2. Craig Ethan, 4 field goals and a pair of free throws, finished with 10. Scott Hondel had 5. Dan Crone did not score. Dan Moore did not score. Lyle New in a reserve role didn't score. Schreiner did not score. Neuring had a field goal for 2, and Eichers had a field goal for 2 points. For Elk River, Casey McEachran finished the ballgame with 17, including 3 three-point baskets. Joey Olson had a pair of field goals for 4. Skip Schaefbauer played just under 3 quarters, and he had 25 from the field, including 3 three-pointers. He also was 4 out of 4 from the charity line, and he finishes with 29, 10 two-point field goals. Or no, not quite. Make that 8 two-point field goals, 3 three-pointers, and 4 out of 4 from the charity line. Derek Butler, a field goal, 2 out of 3 from the line for 4 points. 2 points for Matt Berggren. Ryan Barth did not score. Pat O'Keefe had a 3-pointer. Jay Doherty a 3 and a 2 for 5. Brandon Carlson had a pair of field goals and a pair of free throws for 6. Adam Blakesvet had a pair of field goals for 4. And as far as the Elks were concerned, they also got a 3-pointer from John Boudry and also 2 points from Brian Studer, as both clubs had all players in and all got a chance to see action. We'll come back with our post-game show, and that'll be coming up. We'll have our player of the game and other things, but first we need a 2-minute timeout. Beg pardon? No, I don't think it's necessary. If you want to give them afterwards, that's fine. Yep. Oh, sure. Help yourself. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Don't you use a tripod? Huh?
No, you got a bad habit of using a tripod. I started watching the game.
Oh.
And now our post-game show presented by Marnatelli's Pizza, and we'll have our Marnatelli's Pizza Player of the Game Award here coming up shortly. We didn't get a chance to talk to the coaches, so we'll have to do it ourselves here. But not a good night for the Spartans tonight as they finish out the season at 10-14, and after that big high win over the Apollo Eagles 73-52 here tonight, It was a 13-13 all at the end of the quarter, but the second and third quarters really belonged to the Elks as they outscored ROCORI 22-9 in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter went on to outscore the Spartans by a 27-12 margin, and just kind of blew things wide open as it was 62-34, a 28-point lead after that third quarter, and this game was pretty well over at that point. Final score 79-49. But as I said early on, it was tied at 3, tied at 9, tied at 13, and it looked like it was going to be a nail biter. But as I said, the Elks just kind of blew it wide open, and they'll move on to play the winner of this upcoming Little Falls game with Brainerd, and they will go on with a record of 22 wins and only 1 loss. They only had 5 turnovers in the game, according to my stats, ROCORI with 10, which is still pretty good in a game like this. And Schaefbauer was just outstanding. Of course, if you're naming the player of the game, there was no doubt he was the player of the game for both sides. But we'll be back to name the ROCORI player of the game after this from Arnatelli. Well, it seems that the Spartans, whenever they don't have a real good game, that one little spark plug that seems to have his best games when the Spartans are not doing any scoring is Jesse Philippi, and he will be our Marnatelli's Pizza player of the game. He had a couple of 3-pointers, he had 3 2-pointers, and he also had 6 out of 7 from the free throw line, so he was a big part of the offense tonight. In fact, he had 18 of the 49 points that the Spartans scored. Steve Hulls had 10, Craig Ethan with 10, for the ROCORI Spartans. For the Elk River Elks, 29 points for Schaefbauer and 17 for Casey McEachran, and they were really the offense for that ball club, as they were responsible for a whole lot of points over on the Elk River side. The Elk River moves on. We wish them the best. Thanks to you, thanks to all our sponsors for this season. We appreciate them, and we appreciate you tuning in for all the ball games. And stop by and tell those sponsors that you heard about during the broadcast, all during the season, how much you appreciate it, because they're the people that make it possible. I'm Connie O for Marnatelli's Pizza, and our Marnatelli's Pizza player of the game, Jesse Philippi. Also for Dory Adams back in the studios. Nice job back there, Dory. We appreciate you too. That's it from here. Final once again, Elk River 79, ROCORI 49, and from Hallenbeck Hall, a very pleasant good evening.
Mike and Eddie Cruz.
49 wins. Elk River at 22-1, ROCORI closes out the season at 10-14. Jim Schaefbauer with another outstanding performance, 29 points. A little less than 3 quarters of basketball. Casey McEachran had 17 for the Elks. For the Spartans, they were led by their point guard, Jesse Philippi, with 18 points, 10 apiece for Steve Howell and Craig Ethan. That's it from Hallenbeck Hall, the final. Elk River 79, ROCORI 49. I'm Connie O. Okay, are we all set?
Okay, are you there?
What's that?
Did